I hope you're having an awesome week. I got my husband Logan to join me today because as we go into week 6 of this classroom at home and lockdown, I noticed that our structure has changed a little bit, and so I wanted to talk to you about how we decide things as a family. We certainly don't have things all figured out, but maybe this will be helpful for you, for your families at home, or even for your classroom. So I have Logan here because it actually started with an idea of his. So if you want to kind of tell him about that.
Yeah, it was a book I read by John Gottman, and it was essentially how to communicate better with your spouse, but also leads into a better communication within the family. The reason I read it was just to connect better and understand where we stood with different things and topics, and made sure we were on the same page, and just kind of make sure that I was doing everything I could do to support my wife and understand what she needs from me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, aren't I lucky? No, but what we learned from that, and when he introduced it to me, was that we schedule it. It is in our calendar. We each have it in our calendar. We each get the alert. It's Sunday at 8:30. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you hear our phones buzz, and we're like, ugh. But we do it, right?
We do it.
Yep.
We call it our Sunday sit down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we just talk about things that went well. It's a great time to acknowledge or notice things that your spouse or your kids. We don't have our kids in ours because ours are pretty young, so we kind of make the decisions and then tell them about that later. So we talk about what went well, and then one of the nice things is that it's a kind way to talk about things that maybe didn't go well, so you don't do it in the heat of the moment, but you know you have that time to say, hey, that was hard for me when, or, right, things like that. And then we end with what do you need for the upcoming week. So we'll go over each other's schedule. We talk about, even if it's just, like one of the things we came up with was Logan is working from home, as many of us are, and he needed a commute because he works all day.
So now after I'm done with work, I usually have that time reserved for driving home and decompressing and not talking to anybody, and I don't have that now. So now I just kind of leave the house right after work. I call it my walk home now. I go take a walk, and then I come back, and I'm kind of ready to go for the family.
Yep. Yeah, and so when and I always have lots of things that I say I need. Time to run, time to be alone, help with all kinds of things. But something we came up with this week was just rearranging the way that our kids are earning screen time. So lining up those chores, things like that. So that was a mutual decision, and it comes about as you kind of have those discussions. So some really simple questions. What went well this week? What can we maybe work on, and what do you need? And that's just the most important one. What do you need from me? What do you need from us as a family unit? And then we move forward with that plan, and we reassess every week. So I hope that this will be helpful for all of you as you continue to navigate these changes. We will all be navigating again, right? Once we go back to normal or figure that all out. So again, I hope it's helpful. I think it would be helpful in a classroom too, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Logan.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.